Oh boy, some interesting things are happening around Steam. Oh, sorry guys, you can't see this anymore. It's gone. No more of this. Oh crap. Oh no. Well, as you've heard from the title, boobies, specifically anime boobies, are no longer allowed on Steam. Now, what exactly does this mean? Well, let's just look into the rules. Now, Steam doesn't allow any sort of pornographic content on Steam whatsoever. I mean, that's been in the rules for a very long time. Steam is not a place where you go to find that stuff. There's plenty of different other places where you can go to find said off-brand anime or off-brand movies. Whatever you want, there's different places to go for that. However, suddenly Steam has taken a harsher tone to this rule and is more judgmental, whatever you want to call it. Basically, what they're doing now is banning anime tatas. And a lot of the games that I have played have been affected by it. NecoWorks OVA has tweeted, "We have been informed that adult content and tropical liquor must be censored by the end of this month or the game will be removed from Steam. We are working on this issue." Honey Pop Dev here has stated, "I've received an email from Valve stating that Honey Pop violates the rules and guidelines for pornographic content on Steam and will be removed from the store unless the game is updated to remove said content." Luffysoft devs have said, "We've just received some troubling news today that Steam Games has decided to pull down our title Mutiny within 2 weeks for reports of pornographic content. Now, those of you who know Luffysoft know that we don't put that on Steam or advertise that content on Steam." The thread continues on from here. In fact, Luffysoft has been one of the strictest developers in terms of following Steam's guidelines, and absolutely nothing in Mutiny violates these guidelines. After our Steam publisher Manga Gamer met with Valve in person, they were told ecchi content was fine on Steam. It seems this new change violates what Valve agreed to before, and the entirety of the visual novel genre on Steam is feeling the effects of this new clear option. Every developer, big or small, no matter how much they followed Steam guidelines to the letter, is having games pulled. From Honey Pop to Sonohabira to Mutiny, the message is clear. If your game has sexy anime-inspired art in it, get it gone. While Western games are 100 times more pornographic content, escape unscathed. One rule for them and no rules for us. And I want to leave links to the tweets below in the description in case you want to read more on this. Now, after doing a little bit of investigating here myself on the exact reasons why these games are being pulled, is mostly because I believe the fact that they show some bare tatas in them. And in the case of Mutiny, it doesn't quite show bare tatas, but it does show the very prominent outlines of Fuda girls. Let's just leave it at that. So what I'm understanding from this is they want no nudity whatsoever on Steam now, and they're enforcing that. Now, as you know, there's a ton of visual novels, specifically anime visual novels on Steam now that contain bare boobs or other things like that, and you can bet your buttons that those developers have received notifications about it. And there's also the question that comes to mind is the fact that games that contain extra 18+ patches, are those also being said to be removed from Steam as well because they violate the guidelines even though they have the more safe for work version on Steam? Now, the absolute rule of no 18+ patches can be posted on Steam has existed for years now, and I can confirm that. And devs have worked around that, and they're not allowed to post about an 18+ patch anywhere, not even their own discussions. Nowhere on Steam are they allowed to post that. Which is fine, because that's 18+ material. That was just part of the rule. So now that you know the basic rundown of what's going on, here's a little bit of my questions and absolute pet peeves and problems with it. The first thing that comes to mind here is how far can we go? Is it just going to stop at bare boobies here? Or is it going to go beyond that to just the ecchi genre itself? Are they cracking down on anything that they deem sexual content? So what about these super ecchi games like the soccer stuff, huh? Are those going to be taken down from Steam? Even though they don't really show any nudity, they do show like a lot of skin, so to say. Those games are meant to excite the reader while also engaging them in a story, which is, you know, the whole point of visual novels. You're not really there just for the pretty pictures. You're there for the story, which is the whole reason why people buy them in the first place. What about stuff like Princess Evangel, which shows a lot of skin, has huge amounts of story, but it does indeed show some naughty stuff in it? Especially so with the 18+ patch. Are they just gonna say, hey, remove all of this content from the game, at least some of the stuff that's even integral to the story, or have your game pulled? Because from what I'm seeing of the reports, it seems some games are giving options to remove said content, while other games are just saying, hey, you know what? There's no way you can salvage this. There's no way we're gonna allow this. It's going to be pulled within 2 weeks. Now, the next thing that really pisses me off here is the fact that Steam said that this was A-OK before, that they were perfectly fine to publish this and put it on Steam, absolutely no problems. But now they're just like, you know what? Yo, thanks for all your money. Thanks for all the big publicity. You know, thanks for everything. You guys are fantastic, you know? But you know what? Screw you now. We're moving on. So it's very much like a YouTube situation that we may or may not talk about right now. This is especially true for games like Honey Pop, where it was absolutely massive on YouTube. Lots of people played it. It made huge bucks. It was top of like freaking Steam sales. And now it's just like, screw you, get out of here. Specifically stuff like Conan Exiles, or say Rust, or say Forest. Those games have dangle-dongers flailing around in the breeze, and bare boobs too, where players can see. You know, like, they're not hiding anything at those games. Are they gonna be asked to censor those games? Are those games getting notices that they're gonna be taken down if they don't do something? I haven't heard anything about it. What about The Witcher 3, huh? What about that game? Is that game getting a notice? You gotta remove this stuff, otherwise we're gonna take you down? Maybe it's because Conan Exiles is the top of the Steam charts here, earning them big bucks, and maybe that's why they're like, okay, maybe we'll let that one slide. Like, is this a little biased here, Steam? Mr. Game Newell, what's going on here? And bringing up questions into sales here as well, the Net Bundle seems to be doing pretty good on Steam right now, but as you know, Neptunia games contain a little bit of nudity in them. Yeah, they got a lot of that ecchi stuff. Are they also gonna get pulled from Steam, asked to censor, get rid of that content, otherwise you're screwed? I certainly hope not, especially for a lot of you guys who are very much Net fans out there, including me. What games are getting free passes here, and what games aren't? If they're gonna enforce these rules, then obviously should enforce it on everybody else as well. But at the same time, they're gonna ruin a lot of good games. The next thing I want to point out is when you click on Honey Pop, where does it take you on the Steam? It takes you to an age verification page right here where you have to enter in your freaking birthday. And what is the reason for that? Well, it's there to verify that you're over 18 plus and that you're responsible for yourself. This gives Steam the leeway of saying, you know what? We're not responsible for anything that you do now. What's the point of putting this little gateway on 18 plus content if you're just gonna pull it off anyway? What's the point? You have it there for a reason, because you deem this is mature, and if people are mature enough to enjoy the content, let them enjoy it. We all know games on the internet don't have to go through the ESRB and get a freaking game rating on them, which thankfully is great because the ESRB would be in over their head with all the games coming out on the computer. But they don't really need that filter, mainly because of this right here, the fact that they say that, hey, you gotta be mature to play this game. That should be significant enough to constitute saying, you know what, let's just keep the game here. But anyway, this makes me absolutely terrified of where this is going. Where is Steam going to stop? I love games like freaking Honey Pop, like games like Necopara, Tropical Liquor, the Neptunia games. Honey Pop 2 is going to be coming out soon. The Sakura franchise in general. Like, where are they going to stop? Are they going to take down all these games? Am I just going to see big old freaking censor bars across anime tatas all around Steam now? Are we at the point where we can't even freaking deal with cleavage? And I am going to bring up the point that cases of extreme violence, like stuff you see in Grand Theft Auto or other games like Doom where you're ripping apart and just mutilating stuff, is absolutely fine. But as soon as you throw in anime tatas, you know what, whoa, we don't allow this anymore. Like, boobs don't harm anybody, okay? Like, I've never seen people get hurt by boobs. But yes, Steam does have a limit on, of course, the extreme violence. They have banned hatred, which is absolutely over the top, and it's just violence for the sake of violence. But then again, they have games like Postal still around where you can urinate on people that you have dismembered and totally mutilated to no end. I don't know here. It seems a little bit backwards. And I know I may look nice and calm here, but I'm actually pretty pissed off. Okay, like, I love these games. I love these developers. I follow a lot of these developers. And, like, my career was made around some of the games that these developers have pushed out. I'm not even going to talk about, like, this stuff on YouTube anymore. Like, that's fine, whatever, that's in the past, that's on YouTube. But I'm talking about this stuff for the general public can enjoy is now being taken away. Stuff that you can enjoy in your own personal and free time from the money that you hard-earned and want to spend. And sure, yes, these games are capable of going to different websites. Websites that I respect, like Nutaku, a freaking Manga Gamer, and also Faku. But, you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now, 1 year on any of those sites is pretty much equal to 1 single week on Steam. The amount of exposure game developers get on Steam is huge. Absolutely massive. You are not going to be making anywhere near the same amount of money if you post your game on any other site. It's just how it is. Steam is that powerful. And to see these games getting pulled off of this medium right here, well, that just sucks. And the reason why I'm so adamant about this here is because, like, it's gonna start an avalanche here. If they keep continuing to censor this kind of stuff, well then, like, where's it gonna stop? Like, I don't want to see all my favorite games get away, like all my anime games, because they're just a little too pervy for America. Or maybe now, Japanese developers are gonna have to, like, put huge old light bars across every single anime tatas in video games, and then we're gonna have to download cleavage patches or something. It's just ridiculous crap like that. Now, I don't know what started this change in Steam's mentality here. Maybe it was stuff like VR Kanojo, which was just an absolute porn game, and then they just made it into a demo that you can download on Steam. Maybe it was something along those lines. I have no idea. Maybe they hired a new SJW warrior or something and say anything that objectifies women in any sort of way. I don't know what they're trying to cater to here, but they're gonna lose some sales and it's gonna hurt them. The fact that the Neptunia bundle here, the Nepify Your Life bundle, is number 2 on the top charts of Steam just shows how many anime fans there are out there, how many different anime gamer fans out there. There's lots of them. Lots of people like to pay money for them. And if Steam's gonna alienate them by this bogus bullshit against ecchi content, well, that's messed up. So I don't know what to do here at this point here. Steam is Steam. They don't listen to people, as you all know. Their customer service is probably the biggest joke that you've ever seen. They're gonna continue to do whatever the frick they feel like because they're making billions and billions of dollars. But maybe if I can generate some press, some word of mouth, some sort of momentum to say, you know, maybe you guys are going a little bit too far here. Maybe that will stop them and keep them at bay, and maybe make them back up a little and say, maybe we made a mistake. I don't know. I'm at least trying something here. So yeah, like, I guess at this point here, you're gonna see Machiko, go away. Yeah. Can't look at that anymore. That's it. What can you do? So my final word here is, Steam, grow some freaking backbone. Don't let the voices of the few ruin it for the many. Anyway, I have like this new sponsorship thing with YouTube that's pretty much like a knockoff of Twitch, where you can subscribe or sponsor my channel, and apparently you get access to emotes, but I'm not sure if you can use the emotes in chat, but you'll get nifty badges and stuff like that too. But regardless, there is the sponsor link below. You can use it if you want, or if you would prefer, you could go on my Twitch and maybe subscribe there. Both are perfectly acceptable, or you know, you could just continue to watch. I'm happy either way. So thank you guys once again, and I hope to see all of you beautiful sons of guns again next time.
You crazy mother...